Hello, my name is Rock. Welcome to my world. Welcome back into my kitchen. Okay, this is the last episode of our Easter dinner menu, and we're making desserts. We did one dessert earlier. We did a sweet potato cobbler, and now we're going to make Nadine's banana pudding. Now, normally, I probably will make a cake for Easter, okay? But cakes are not Facebook-friendly recipes. So if you want to make a cake, go to Amazon, order my cookbook, Rock Soul Food Sunday, and I have a lot of cakes. I have Rock's German chocolate cake, I have Nadine's pineapple cake, I have coconut cake, I have Mama S's lemon supreme pound cake, and lots more cakes, okay? So if you want a cake, go to my cookbook, because today we're making Nadine's banana pudding. All righty, let's get started. Okay, now, even though I have this on the stove is not, it's not on, so there's no heat under this. And you want to invest in a heavy saucepan, okay? Because we're making the custard, okay? We're making the custard for the banana pudding. And you want to put your ingredients in here cold, okay? You don't want to have any heat on here because it will not, your eggs going to be scrambled if you do. So we already have some evaporated milk. Everybody had evaporated milk in your house, okay? Growing up, we all had evaporated milk. Well, guess what? We still use evaporated milk, okay? So we have some evaporated milk. We're going to add in our egg yolks, slightly beaten egg yolks, okay? And once again, make sure that that mixture is not hot. It has to be, these ingredients have to be added cold. Not cold, but not, without any heat underneath it, okay? So let's get our eggs in there. Okay, let's blend that in. Those eggs stirred in there with that evaporated milk. This is old-fashioned custard. Kind of tastes like ice cream, but it's just not frozen. Okay, and the next thing we're going to add is some white sugar. It's just plain old white granulated sugar to that mixture. And after each ingredient, you want to blend it well, okay? Make sure that it's well blended. We have our sugar, our eggs in there. Get that, whisk that in really good. A whisk really works better than a spoon for me. So get it all blended in. And the last ingredient really has to be blended in well, and that's your flour. That's your thickening agent, okay? We're going to use some flour to thicken this up, okay? Okay, going to add a little bit of flour at a time because we want to make sure that it's not lumpy, okay? So blend that little bit of flour into the sugar and the eggs. You can see it's coming together really well. And then we'll add a little bit more of that flour. Blend it up really good. Okay. Alrighty, no lumps. I'm going to add the final flour. Okay. Blend that in really good. Okay. Can you pan in on that, Aretha, so they can see that that flour is really, make sure that that flour is blended in really well. You don't have any lumps. Okay. Now we can turn the heat on. Okay. We're going to actually turn the heat on, and we're going to cook this for about 15 minutes, and it's going to thicken up. Now, if you're impatient, you're going to burn your custard, okay? You cannot leave this, Aretha. You have to stay with this mixture the entire time, okay? And you have to constantly stir it, okay? And that's why I told you to get a heavy-duty pan, because if you have a thin pan, it's too easy for your custard to stick to the bottom. Okay, so we're going to do this for 15 minutes, and once that's done, okay, I've already have some custard made, so once it's done, when you take it off of the fire, then you add in your vanilla extract, okay? Add your vanilla in after the custard is done, and you remove it from the fire, and it's going to set because it's going to have to chill actually, okay? So like I said, in the essence of time, I've made some custard already. I made this earlier today. See, isn't that pretty? That's the way your custard's going to turn out if you're patient and you don't leave it and it doesn't burn, okay? That's the custard. All righty, so this can get a little messy, so I'm going to put on some gloves. because we're going to be using some, my mother loved the Nabisco vanilla wafers because she said they're not broken up. Sometimes you buy the generic brand, and nothing against generic, but sometimes the cookies are broken. So my mama always used Nabisco. So Rock is going to use Nabisco. Okay. All right, let's get these gloves on. Okay. Now we're going to make sure to get you a pretty bowl. Okay, you want a clear bowl and a pretty bowl so you can see those different layers of the bananas and the custard and the cookies. And we're going to make a smaller version too. Let's say if you're having a dinner party and you're having 2 different desserts, you can have your banana pudding made in separate desserts. So some people use mason jars or what have you, but this is my special glass that my niece Jamaica gave me. Yes, I use it for my cocktails too. You probably saw it on one of those videos. But anyway, so we're going to make one in the glass bowl. And for starters, we'll start with a layer of custard on the bottom of the bowl. Okay? Nice layer of custard. Okay, and we're going to do the same with our glass. Layer of custard. Okay. Now, hold on. I told you it could get messy. Okay. Now, next we're going to put a layer of cookies. Okay, you want to layer those cookies and you want the flat side down, okay, on top of that custard. Layer of cookies. Okay, that's starting to look pretty already. Layer of cookies. Okay, get you a good layer because you want it to be, cookies are going to make it look crunchy. Okay, now let's get some cookies in our bowl, maybe just 1 or 2 in our little cup there. And then we're going to put a layer of bananas on top of the cookies. Okay, so you're going to layer your bananas. And when you're selecting your bananas, when you go to the supermarket, you want it to be ripe, but you don't want them to be overripe. And a good banana is going to be nice and yellow, pretty yellow on the outside with a little specks of brown on the outside and not brown on the inside. Little specks of brown. You know how they have little specks of brown on the peel. Okay? Just going to have a few little specks of brown on the peel on the outside. You don't want to have the ones that, with the green because the bananas aren't ripe. So you just got to pick just the right bananas. Okay? Okay, now let's put some bananas on top of our bowl here. It's coming together. Pretty little side dish there. Okay. 1 more banana. Okay, and guess what's next? Yep, you got it. Another layer of custard. Okay, another layer of custard. Okay, pretty good. A layer of custard on there. All right. Now, one of my friends suggested I play jazz in the background while I was doing this, and I tried that, but when I do that, you can't hear me. So we're not doing jazz, but I'll try to speed it along. So we're going to add another layer of cookies. Another layer of cookies on top of that. Well, these cookies aren't broken, so I guess the Nabisco still holding true to form. Most of the cookies are whole. They're not broken. My mother hated those broken cookies. Okay, I'm going to put a couple up on top of here. Okay. And what's next? What's next, Aretha?
The bananas.
Another layer of bananas. You're right. You're so smart. But I will take it. Thank you for Aretha has been my photographer, my videographer for my series of recipes for Facebook. We are in the house together all day long, staying in and staying safe. Okay? So we're making the best of it. Thank you, Aretha.
You're welcome.
Okay. Now, another layer of bananas on top of your individual dish. Okay.
I just
And again, Don't forget though, if you decide that you want to make yours with the meringue on top, you got to make sure that you have a dish that has the that you can go in the oven with. It doesn't have to. The meringue doesn't have to cook. It just needs to brown. Okay, so we need another layer of cookies. Is that right? Yeah, another layer of cookies. Was I supposed to? I think that was supposed to be another layer of custard first. I'm getting my custard. I'm getting ahead of myself. Another layer of custard on top of those cookies. Okay, layer of custard here. And yeah, this custard, actually, if you wanted to, if you make too much, you can put some in a little dish and put it in the freezer, and you'll have ice cream. That's basically what it's made out of. Just milk, sugar, and eggs. Okay. I'm not sure if ice cream has eggs in it, but this custard does, and I've frozen it before, and it tastes good. So just try it, see if you like it. Okay, on our banana pudding, we're getting it all done because I'm getting hot. Okay, now another layer of cookies on there. Oh, that's getting pretty. Cookies. Ooh, it smells good. That might be enough for that. I don't know. We'll see if we can get another layer. Okay, so time for what, Aretha?
It's time for the bananas.
Bananas. So this is going to be our last layer because we're not going to string this out. I mean, you get the picture. I'm going to put this last layer of bananas on here. And see, I'm glad I got these gloves on. I told you it could get a little bit messy. But just don't forget what I told you about that custard, because it can get away from you, and if it gets scorched, you just have to start all over again, because you can't use the scorched custard. You've got to have, that's your basis for this dessert, is to make sure that that custard is good and rich. Blend it in well. Okay. How's that looking over there? I don't think we need to put any more on the individual one. Okay, there go all of our bananas. And we're going to put one more layer of custard just because we have some here. And then we're going to finish it off with the layer of cookies. All right, now that's a quick, easy dessert. Now you want to let your banana pudding sit in the refrigerator at least a couple of hours before you serve it. Okay? I'm just going to top this off with some bananas real quick.
With cookies.
I mean, some cookies. I'm sorry, I'm going banana crazy, right? Thank you, Aretha. Cookies. Cookies is the final touch on top. Okay? And that's going to be Nadine's banana pudding, everybody. Let's finish these cookies. Finish the cookies and make it all pretty on the top. Now, you know what? Some people, I had one made with shortbread cookies before, and it was good. I did, you know, like I said, you can make different variations of this recipe according to your taste. I had never had it before, but it was good. But my mama used vanilla wafers, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use what Nadine used. Okay. Now all we need to do, isn't that pretty? Is let that sit in the refrigerator for a couple of hours before you serve it. And you have Nadine's banana pudding. Happy Easter, everyone. Be safe.
Happy Easter.